Okay, good day everyone. We are going to discuss about the preliminaries related with our topic, yeah, in phonetic and phonology, like what we have discussed before last week. That we are going to see the general, yeah, differences between phonetic and phonology, and also uh, the review related with the basic, yeah, understanding of linguistic itself, because it is important for us as the language student, language learner, to have this kind of perspective. That's why I give the sharing here, yeah, earlier, before we discuss about uh, the consonant and the vowel topic. Okay, I will make it bigger. Yeah, uh, for the cover of the PowerPoint page is about the top 5 linguistic university. Yeah, if you want to have your master degree or doctoral degree, you can take, yeah, in that 5 top university from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, Harvard, Cambridge, Edinburgh, till the Oxford itself. Okay, uh, if you read the Scandera uh, book, yeah, the main reference for our classes, uh, there we have descriptive and prescriptive point of view. We are going to see this point of view in seeing language itself, because we are once again a language learner. We need to have both perspective, both point of view equal, so we can wisely see the phenomena in our surrounding based on the knowledge itself, yeah, the language theory. So what are they? Yeah, if you see the reference, prescriptivism and descriptivism. Yeah, if prescriptive is language rule, we study language, we see that language has a rule. Yeah, of course, we will uh, take that as our basic. That's why here in phonetic and phonology, how you ought to speak. Yeah, the rule of how you ought to speak, the rule of the sounds. Mhm. We can also apply it in morphology, syntax, and extra. Yeah, but here we are going to discuss the concept of prescriptivism. Yeah, and then what is the relation with the phonetic and phonology. Then how about descriptivism? Yeah, descriptive point of view is about the language usage. Yeah, how you do speak. So we see in our surrounding, in our phenomena, the real practice, not just the theory, not just the abstract things, yeah, the concrete things in our surrounding related with the language production here is the descriptivisms. That's why we need to make it equal. We have a rule, for example, about consonant, how to speak this one, how to pronounce this one, how to read it based on the dictionary, lexical based, the standard one. But if we see the reality, yeah, mostly the people will have the very, yeah, pronunciation based on the idiolect, for example, based on the influence of the culture, the influence of the mother tongue, and extra. That's, yeah, that's why we have many variation. This is the language usage. So we cannot judge that language is better, that language is good. No, all are equal. That's why we need to make a good understanding related with the language rule and the language usage. That's why we can see the phenomena that, oh, this is just standard, this is non-standard. But we cannot say that this is wrong, this is right. Yeah, because as long as we can explain based on the social phenomena or sociolinguistics later on, based on the other factors like culture, yeah, we can see that this is the variation of language. That's why uh, to know the prescriptivism and descriptivisms in the beginning of our course is very important. Okay, like this. This is just intermezzo. We'll skip it. This is just a sample of comic that, of course, that rule is important because it's not, it can make a miscommunication. Yeah, like this comic in a judge uh, convention. I didn't do nothing. Mean he did. Yeah, okay. Then the other feedback related with this, yeah, we can see from the Ferdinand de Saussure, one of the expert, if you remember in the introduction to linguistic, he explained about langue and parole and about language, yeah. So you can see that the langue is the whole system of language that precedes and makes speech possible. That's why in this word, based on the prescriptivism, we have a system, whole system. Then the whole system, the system of the communication that occurred in the specific place, specific culture, specific group of people, yeah, in a certain context. That's the language, like Indonesian language, Japanese language, Tagalog, Thai, and stuff. Yeah. And then parole is related with the individual. Parole is the concrete use of the language. Concrete use, not just about the abstract system. Yeah, this is the concrete use that we apply, that we utter. Yeah, the actual utterances. It is an external manifestation of language. Yeah, this is the usage of the system, but not the system. Yeah, so you need to see these three concepts. Yeah, then related with prescriptive and descriptive point of view. Okay, then the other, if we see lang and parole, in lang itself, we have synchronic and diachronic. Yeah, so briefly, synchronic is not related with time actually, so we cannot we can neglect the time, but diachronic we consider the time much. So this is about the timeline. For example, then we see the relation or the history of language. Yeah, in linguistic field we have linguistic history comparative, for example, that study, for example, the Austronesian language related with the fire. Nah, misalnya in this certain country previously said by uh, Afi, Afu, Afi, Api, Agni, Geni, dan extra. That's about diachronic things related with once again the sample of the topic, the uh, knowledge related to this is linguistic history comparative. Then if the synchronic, yeah, we can see about the syntax, we can see about the semantic, pragmatic, that's synchronic because we do not consider the time much. Then the other expert that's important to be known is Noam Chomsky, that study about competence and performance. Why we need to know it in the beginning? Because as language learner, we need to relate it with the competence and performance. Later on, as a teacher too, yeah, we also need to see this. Yeah, what is the difference between competence and performance? Yeah, later on, in knowing the phonetic theory, because we say that in the first meeting last week that phonetic and phonology is a theoretical class. You can apply it here too, or specifically in fluency practice. That's why fluency practice is the performance, the performance, and here the abstract thing that we discuss it, like in the cognitive science, is the competence. Yes, if you see this comic of Tarzan, yeah, you can see for a while. You can pause and read it. Done. Okay. If you see, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 first picture, sequence of picture is about the the mind of Tarzan. So he doesn't utter it directly, still in his mind. Yeah. Okay, how do you do? My name is Tarzan, and I believe you are known as Jane. Bagus kan? It's very good arrangement that make a plan to say something, but still a plan, yeah, in his mind. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Tarzan. Blah 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 blah. Oh, that is it. There she is. Langsung saat itu he utter, dia it's not about bubble anymore, but this already utterances. Me, Tarzan, you, Jane. Dan. So, what do you get from this comic strips? This is about competence and performance. So, Tarzan here in the context has a good competence, can arrange in his mind how to say to Jane the first meeting. But in the actual meeting, in the reality, yeah, he doesn't perform it well. So the performance is not that good as the competence. Nah, ini hanya just about sharing from this comic strip. So and ideally we need to make it balance. Yeah, we have good competence and we'll also good will also have a good performance. Yeah, in language teaching we also need this. Yeah, this is the competence and performance, the definition. Yeah, so the competence is our mental property function. Then the performance is production of actual utterances. Why we need to see this competence and performance too from Noam Chomsky? Yeah, because this is the review, because we want to see this, the differences between phonetic and phonology. So what are they? Yeah, phonetic, this is still general. Yeah, we can have it in details in several meetings ahead. Yeah, so here let's discuss it briefly. Yeah, phonetic is about the physical aspect of sound. It studies the production and the perception of sound called tones. Ya. Teman-teman tolong dipelajari, diingat nanti tugasnya adalah summary. You need to summarize the brief differences between phonetic and phonology. So phonetic is the physical aspect. Yeah, it study the production and the perception of sounds called phones. Yeah. Then the study of production of speech sounds by the articulatory and vocal tract by the speaker. Then how about phonology here? Phonology is about the abstract aspect. Abstract aspect. Remember, if the previous one is physical aspect, this is the abstract aspect of sounds. And it's tadi phone, kalau phonology, phoneme. That's why we have phonemic transcription. If in phonetic, we have phonetic transcription. So phonology is about establishing what are the phonemes in given language. Yeah, those sounds that can bring a difference meaning between two words. This is the phoneme. Yeah. Okay. So furthermore, in phonology, we have segmental phonology and suprasegmental phonology, but we'll not discuss here because we will discuss it in the next occasion, yeah, in the other context. Okay, so in phonetic and phonology, we have this kind of flow chart, yeah, based on Scandera too. If you read the chapter 1, yeah, if in our speaker, in our brain, the speaker's brain, this is called by phonology because this is still, look at the definition, abstract things. Yeah. Then comes to the speaker mouth. We utter it, and then there is a transmission of sound, and then comes to the listener ear. Still about the mouth, ear, and ear. Yeah, this is all are phonetic. Speaker's mouth is articulatory phonetic. The uh, transmission sound through the air is the acoustic phonetic, and then uh, the sound that comes to the listener's ear is auditory phonetics. Then it comes to the listener's brain. It called by phonology again because it's already in the brain. This is still yeah, comes to the abstract. Then articulatory, acoustic, and auditory is the physical properties. Uh, we can uh, feel it, we can hear it directly. Yeah, but if in our mind, we cannot see the physical aspect of it. Yeah, this is the closing. I took it from the Scandera, the one paragraph. Yeah, you can read it slowly. It is related with the assignment. Please summarize the phonetic versus phonology. Yeah, related with the uh, minimal unit, related with the definition, related with the name of the transcription. Kalau fonetik itu disebut apa, kalau transcriptionnya fonologi apa, lalu nulisnya seperti apa, terusnya apakah dengan brackets, apakah dengan slashes, dan sebagainya. Nah, kalau teman-teman lihat di kamus itu ya transkripsinya apa, itu kan based on the theory transcriptivism, ya. This is still in the book, right? In the dictionary, right? It is not uttered yet, so that's the abstract properties. Itu apa? Nah, nanti teman-teman perlu membaca ulang, melihat video ini ulang, dan membaca referensi lain, sehingga tugas simpelnya, the simple assignment is to summarize the differences between phonetic and phonology in general, ya. Thank you very much. See you in another meeting. Goodbye.